So you guys are welcome to another of my tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll be taking you through how I will be editing these photos from start to finish. I might have to fast forward some areas, but generally I will let you know my progress and what I'm doing at every point in time. Now let me just give you the background to this photo shoot. So actually she wanted to kind of change the look from her long hair to very short hair, but she's been on these for in fact a couple of, maybe I would even say maybe a year plus and thereabout. But she's always there feeling like with the short hair be good on me and all that. But finally she just said, like every other person, she made that decision and said she's going for the short hair. So I was personally looking forward to that because obviously it's gonna be something fresh, something new. And eventually when she did that, I was like, wow, this looks so amazing. We can do a photo shoot and we create content just to kind of show the whole process of this. So we actually did this photo shoot on the Mother's Day, which was on a Sunday. And the gear that I used for this particular shot, this was done inside my studio indoors. So this was, I was using my Godox 8600 Pro. That's my main light, and Godox 8400 Pro kind of illuminating my backdrop, and also I was using a hair light as well on the other side. So overall I was using around four light altogether, and for the camera I was using the Sony a7R4. When I'm shooting in the studio I like to use the Sony a7R4 because of its resolution as well. So this is the setting for the camera right here that I use. So I was using at ISO 100 and I was shooting at 1258 f8, which is very important. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys to see right now. So let's zoom in. You guys can see how sharp the image is. The image is pretty damn sharp, and that's because I'm shooting. If you're shooting from f8 upward, you'll get a very sharp image rather than probably if you shoot at f2.8 or f4 or f5, you might still get some part of the body or the face that is blurry. Now this is a portrait and you want the face to be in focus, you want the face to be sharp because it's the center of attraction. So, and I'm happy with this with the image, how sharp the images look, and everything is in focus from what we just said. Now if you want to make sure to see whether they are actually in focus, we can use this in Capture One. Usually I use this, and if I over this right now, you guys can see it's telling me that every area is sharp. If you go down there, it takes a little while, but you guys can see it's sharp, and you guys can see that that area also is sharp as well. Okay, so now we're gonna start. So the first thing I did was just to reduce the temperature. That's the only thing I have done here. So let me go show you guys the before and the after. I think it was a bit too warm and I just wanted to bring it down a little bit. So let me just click on this now and let's do that. So this was the before. It was just, it's not something drastic, it's just something subtle. This was the before, and this looks more realistic. Now the second thing I'm going to do right now is I just want to give this backdrop a little bit of color. I wanted to kind of want to just make it more pop, the color, the background. We can do that in Capture One. There's a lot of things you can do in Capture One. You can even edit a whole picture in Capture One. I just like the workflow in Capture One, but there are other software you can use like Lightroom. Okay, so in order to do this, I'll just click on this plus button here, which will take me to another layer. And what I'm going to do is that we have a magic brush here and we have the normal brush. Now the magic brush, when I override it, it's an artificial intelligence using AI to detect the area that you want to select, and it will help you to select. Computers and machine learning and things like this, yeah, and everything is getting smarter by the day. So I'm going to take that, and what I'm going to do is just going to draw. So let me take my brush. I'm just going to draw. Click on M to reveal the area selected. So I'm just going to do that for the magic brush, and you guys will see how it will select using AI to select, instead of me to starting to kind of like, oh sorry, I use the normal brush. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. Let me just use the magic brush now. So I'm going to just draw, right? So let's see what it's going to do. So you guys can see that He's done a pretty good job. Let's see what he done. You guys can see that is a lovely job. The magic brush has done a very fantastic job. Otherwise, I'll have to use the normal brush to start to select and paint and do everything. It could take forever. So I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. This thing used to take forever before, but just with the AI, machine learning and stuff like that, they can just do this magic in. That's why they call it magic brush anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna click on him again to just do, so now what I want to do is to go to this color tab here, and I'm just gonna pick on this and I'm gonna select this color, right? So I'm gonna draw this here, and then I'm trying to just make that color maybe a bit deeper, and I'm just gonna, I like the way, so maybe make it more pinkish, and actually this backdrop is white, so all I've done is I put a kind of an orange, or what I say, red gel or orange gel in front of that Godacity 400 that was illuminating my backdrop, and that kind of created this effect. And eventually I kind of like, wow, I love it. Sometimes it's instinct to just do some things, and you guys can see that it matches some part of the scarf as well, so which is brilliant. I think this color looks much better. Let's look at before and the after. Here is the before, all looks faded, and this is the after. I think it looks much more better right now. Now I don't want to crop too much here, because I do feel like yeah, I feel like this is okay. I just want to leave it for that for right now, for like that. So the other things I'm probably thinking of doing here, and the next thing is if I can just see if I can do the cloth, but I think that will be okay. So I'll probably say I'm happy with this right now. I can do some healing in here, but I would rather go to Photoshop. I just want to go to Photoshop. I think I prefer doing it in Photoshop. So I'm going to take this photo right now, right click and edit. I'm just going to take it to Photoshop right now, and we are in Photoshop. So I'm just going to pull this right now on full screen. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it in. Yep. So what I'm going to do next from now is to take out the to use the healing brush to take out all the spot. Now, one thing I want to talk about is it is good to get your pictures right in post when you're taking the picture, because we have a good image, right? So if you have a bad image, to fix a lot of things will be more difficult. But this image, in my own opinion, is beautiful. It just looks gorgeous already. We just want to make it, we just want to accentuate those good features and everything, not like we are trying to work on a bad picture. So bear that in mind, is very critical, right? Make sure you get it right in post, make sure you take the right picture, you get a good picture. The editing becomes much straightforward. You still have to work for it, but still straightforward. So I'll just click on the Command J to get another layer, and then what I'm going to do is just click on that alien brush, and what I'm going to do right now is just go through cleaning up. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to sample from an area that looks similar, and I'm going to paint over. There are different ways of doing healing. You can use any method that you want, and this is the one I have chosen. So they looks good to me. So just this might take time, so I might fast forward this aspect, and then what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna continue. So all I'm just doing is sampling and painting on, yeah, so just sampling and painting. So that's it, nothing really crazy. So I'm gonna fast forward this, like I said, and I'll come back to you guys at the end. So let us go now. So let's fast forward. Here's to the good days. So presently, I'm okay with the healing that I've done. It's not a perfect job, or I don't want to spend a lot of time sitting on it because I could be doing this for the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So I want to make it as quick as possible just to show you guys an idea of what you need to do. Another thing I must say is that what is important is important that you have your actions ready. Now, I will be playing a lot of actions today, basically because I already have those actions made. So what are actions? So these are things that could speed up your workflow in terms of you already have them created for each task. You can just play them. And once you play them, what it does is that you can then, just use your brush to paint. It will save you tons of time. Trust me, you don't want to be sitting in front of a computer editing one pictures for 3 hours, and then you have to create each action for each process. It's going to take your time. So I already have those actions that I need for this image or subsequent image ready. So there's tons of free actions on YouTube. I have some of them here I'm using. I also created some myself. So yeah, there's nothing wrong if you go on there. If you go on there, different resources everywhere that you will find, and you can also just lay your hands on them as well. So I'm gonna merge this layer now. This is not the best way, but this is what I just do. I merge that in with the background layer. So the next thing I want to do is just a quick dodge and burn. So I'm just gonna go through dodge and burn. I think it's a good image already, but I just want to see whether there's some areas that could just be a little bit brighten up. So I'm gonna take my brush, make sure that the flow is at 1. Now I'm just gonna paint on area that I feel is 2. So I'm just highlighting ink, just trying to make sure the areas that are dark have been lit up a little bit, just increasing the exposure a little bit, and not without destroying the image. It is important that you edit with purpose. So I will also probably fast forward this part. So the reason why it's in black and white is because I'm making it black and white is to allow me to see those darker spot area that needs probably a little bit of touch of highlight and stuff like that. If it was all in colored, you might not be able to see those area, but by no means is this the only way to do it. There are other ways that people do it, but the important thing is just to understand the concept behind what we are doing, so, and the role that they are playing. So it's important we get that right. So I don't think there's too much thing I can do in terms of what I'm doing right now here, but I think I'm pretty happy with this. This might not seem like a lot, it might not seem like I'm doing anything really, but this is actually improving the overall image in one capacity or the other. So yes, so let's see what we've done before and after. Yes, before and after. It might not be too evident. We don't want to go overboard. So right now I'm just going to take this away and then merge this layer. I'm going to merge that layer, and once I do that, the next thing I will now do right here is frequency separation. So I'm gonna go, I have this, I'm just gonna click on that, and I think you just have to find something that works. So I'm thinking maybe I should try maybe 8. I'm not sure, but I feel like it might work. So let me just take my mixer brush. So you're gonna use your mixer brush. This is an already action created already, so you guys see me that you might need to create your own or download these a subsequent one, I mean like the similar one from YouTube. So right now all I'm just doing is taking my brush and just smoothing out the skin, but also we don't want to make it too smooth, and we just want to make sure that at least there's texture, because it's important your image have texture. You don't want everything to look so so flattened out, or just the person looks so animated and stuff like that. So you don't want that. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do here, making sure that we have a good image that is well edited, and it's not just like looks like a rush job. So yeah, so I think I like the way this is looking. one thing with the mixer brush is that you have to be careful, because you can start mixing, like, you know, it's a mixer brush. So anytime you are doing a similar area of color, you can do that. But once you move to another different area of color, like where I'm doing right now, this upper of this cheek is different from this. So if I'm doing this, I will have to be careful I don't spill it into this color. So I raise my hand and I'll continue with that. So just to yeah, so, and I think, let me see, now we should be pretty good for this as well. So I'm gonna fast forward this and I'm gonna come to you guys as well. Let's just see what we've done before and after. This is before and this is the after. So if I zoom out, because it's good, I'm too zoomed in, so I need to zoom out to see what I have done. So let me just see, is there any way I can improve it? And that's another question you need to ask yourself anytime you're editing. You know, is there anything I can do to improve the work that I have done already? You know, if there's anything you can do, you can go ahead and kind of improve it. So yeah, I'm pretty much happy with this now. What I'm gonna do next is just to bring all this together. Now the next thing is that I want to work on the eyes. I think the eyes is very important. Obviously it's a very essential part of the body, and when you're doing portrait, obviously it becomes even more important. Yeah, so I have another action for that. I'm gonna play that, and that is good. So for this, I'm gonna zoom in first of all. I'll zoom into the eyes, and I'm just gonna clean through. So I'm just gonna collapse this right now, and just look for the eye, and just okay. So I'm just gonna remove the veins right now. That's what I'm doing here. Let me increase this. So I'm just gonna fast forward this one. So step by step, I'm gonna remove the vein first of all, and then I'll start to brighten up the eyes a little bit. So that is the process here. So I'll see you guys once I finish this aspect, and we'll go to the next stage. Okay guys, so once I finished doing the eyes, so the next thing that I did was just and then I work on just, you know, making the face glow a little bit, just adding some shine to it. So all I did here with this group here, let me break it down. So this group, you guys can see here, the group here. So what I've done is to create curves adjustment layer, so I can redo it to show you guys what I did. Just didn't want to waste time, so I'm just going to do it here. So I click on the curve adjustment layer, and so what I have done is to raise this up like that, and I'm going to press Command I. Before I press Command I, I'm just going to double click on that and just split that using Option key on the Mac, as I'm used to more Mac. It might look too much like that. I think maybe that's about okay. And so you have to focus on one area at a time, and one area of the face at a time, so that, you know, if you do a multiple, one might be too much, and to reduce it might be hard. So after doing that, I'm just going to click down, and then I click on Command I to invert, and then I just create multiple layers, right? Hold on Command and then J. So for instance, if I want to do if I want to do the this cheek here, I'm just going to take my brush, put the flow at 100. I'm going to put the flow at 100 and bring it down here, and let's see what will happen when you guys can see there's a shine on it. Now if it's too much, I think the brush is too big. If it's too much like that, you just can bring it down here, the opacity here, so that looks more, maybe that looks more realistic. And then you do the other side, you do the forehead a little bit, and every area that you want to do the lips. So I don't actually need this, so I'm just going to delete them because I've done it already. I'm just trying to show you guys what I did. And then after that, the next thing that I did was to come here, and then I have some sharpening stuff, but the image is already sharp, so I didn't sharpen too much. And then I did a little bit of color correction here using the hue and the hue saturation for this image, and that is everything I have done with this image. Also, while I was editing, I just kind of enhanced the hair a little bit by using the same curve adjustment I just showed you. I just used that same process to kind of add some glow to the hair as well, to give it a little bit of shine. So so if I want to show you guys the before and the after, you guys can see the before, you guys can see the after. Let me just bring this closer so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So let's zoom in. You guys can look at the hair now, so, and the face. So let me do the before and the after. This is the before, and that is the after. I hope you guys can see any changes there. Okay, so anyway, I think the image looks great now. It looks good, so it's good and it's ready to be exported. And this is my process for this particular image. This could change with anything I'm doing. I mean, if I'm doing another image, it could be another process entirely and stuff like that. But for this particular image, this is the process I've gone with. It's not a lot, but it's because I already have a good image from post. The major thing I had to take away was just the spot. Apart from that, it's a very beautiful image, and this image looks gorgeous. So guys, let me know what you think. And if you want to learn more, if you want to ask me any question, you can drop me a DM or drop me a message or reach out to me in any way you can, and then I will make sure I answer all your questions. Now, I have a YouTube channel, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. On my YouTube channel, I do talk about things like photography and video. Obviously, I go behind the scenes to show you guys some BTS, some photos, and I also talk about business education on my channel as well. And I do some cameras and lenses review. So if those three things interest you, why don't you check out my videos? And if you like any one of them, please smash that like button for me. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on this tutorial. Until next time, I say, guys, I say take care, and bye-bye.
Yeah. Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrow.